Welcome back to the channel, folks. What we have today is nothing short of historic, a double headline that has completely flipped the NFL world on its head and sent shockwaves through the Dallas Cowboys fan base and beyond. The news is not just big, it's franchise-altering. In a move that has left fans speechless and insiders scrambling for answers, the Dallas Cowboys have reportedly traded away their defensive superstar Micah Parsons to the Cleveland Browns. Yes, you heard that right. Micah Parsons, the heartbeat of the Cowboys' defense, the engine of Dan Quinn's schemes, the face of a new generation of Dallas football gone. As if that seismic bombshell wasn't enough, the Cowboys immediately followed it up with another jaw-dropping moment. Adam Schefter confirmed it himself. The Dallas Cowboys have used their second-round pick in the NFL draft to select quarterback Shedeur Sanders, the dynamic signal caller from Colorado and son of none other than NFL legend Deion Sanders. In just a matter of hours, the Cowboys have completely reshaped their future, redefined their identity, and made it abundantly clear they are not playing around. This moment will be remembered, not just because it marks a turning point for the Cowboys, but because it represents the type of bold, calculated, and high-risk decisions that define dynasties or doom them. Let's break it down from the top. Micah Parsons being traded is the kind of move that, if whispered in NFL circles even a week ago, would have been laughed out of the room. Since entering the league in 2021, Parsons has been nothing short of phenomenal. He's not just a Pro Bowl talent, he's a perennial All-Pro, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate every single season, and quite literally one of the most disruptive forces in football. He does it all: rushes the passer, stuffs the run, drops into coverage, chases down mobile quarterbacks, and rallies the locker room. You don't find players like Micah Parsons often. He's the rare kind of talent that warps offensive game plans. The kind of player that keeps opposing coordinators awake at night. And now, the Cowboys have decided to move on. Early reports suggest that this wasn't a decision made lightly. The deal is massive, complex, and still being finalized. From what's been leaked so far, the Cleveland Browns are believed to be sending over multiple first-round draft picks, a high-profile defensive player whose identity has yet to be confirmed, and other valuable assets in exchange for Parsons. It's a king's ransom, and frankly it had to be. You don't trade a generational defensive talent unless the return gives you a chance to reimagine your roster from the ground up. The Cowboys know that. And while the move may hurt now, it could be laying the foundation for something bigger. So why would the Cowboys make such a bold move in the first place? Well, insiders close to the organization suggest there are a few driving factors. For one, contract negotiations between Micah Parsons and the front office have reportedly grown tense in recent months. Parsons, quite rightly, was expected to demand a deal that could make him the highest-paid defensive player in the NFL, possibly north of $30 million per year. That kind of payday, while deserved, could have seriously limited the Cowboys' flexibility when it comes to constructing the rest of the roster. Paying Parsons would have meant making hard choices elsewhere, and perhaps even sacrificing future depth. The Cowboys brass, led by Jerry Jones, might have seen this as the perfect time to cash in on Parsons' value at its absolute peak. But the timing of this trade suggests something more than just financial considerations. It signals a philosophical shift. The Cowboys seem to be embarking on a new era, one that's less about tweaking around the edges and more about redefining who they are at their core. That brings us to the second bombshell of the day, the drafting of Shedeur Sanders. Just as the Parsons news was dominating every sports network and social media feed, Adam Schefter casually dropped another bomb on the NFL universe. The Cowboys selected Shedeur Sanders in the second round. The moment that tweet hit, everything changed again. This isn't just another draft pick. This is the start of a new chapter. The son of Deion "Primetime" Sanders, one of the most electric players to ever wear the star on his helmet, is now a Dallas Cowboy. And just like his father, Shedeur carries with him not just talent, but swagger, confidence, and star power. In one fell swoop, the Cowboys may have found their next franchise quarterback, a player who knows what it means to be in the spotlight and doesn't just survive under pressure but thrives in it. It's impossible to separate the storylines here. Micah Parsons out. Shedeur Sanders in. Defense traded. Offense reloaded. And at the center of it all, a franchise making a very loud, very clear statement: it's time for a reset. Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders, the player. Forget the last name for a moment and look at the tape. At Colorado, despite playing behind an offensive line that allowed more sacks than almost any other program in the country, Shedeur still put up ridiculous numbers. His arm strength? NFL caliber. His poise? Elite. His football IQ? Off the charts. This is a quarterback who understands how to read defenses, how to move the chains, how to lead a locker room. He's the kind of guy who sees blitzes coming before the defense even commits. His ability to extend plays, make throws off platform, and stay calm under pressure turned the heads of scouts and execs across the league. And now he's coming to Dallas. Cowboys fans are reacting with a whirlwind of emotions. Some are ecstatic, praising Jerry Jones for having the guts to shake things up and bet on a quarterback who could become the face of the league. Others are still reeling from the idea of life without Micah Parsons. And somewhere in between, there's the bittersweet realization that the team is saying goodbye to one core while building another. But this isn't a teardown. This isn't a tank. This is what insiders are calling a strategic pivot, a rare type of NFL move that tries to get younger, more cost-effective, and more explosive all at once. Jerry Jones, for all his polarizing moves, seems to believe that this is the kind of bold maneuver that can take the Cowboys from good to great. The whispers coming out of the Star in Frisco paint a picture of a front office that is all in on Shedeur Sanders. One team executive reportedly told an insider off the record, "We love Micah. We really do. But this is about more than one player. It's about reshaping our future. Shedeur gives us leadership, upside, and the ability to build something special. He's a Cowboy already." It's rare you hear that kind of conviction about a rookie quarterback before he's even taken a snap. But that's the level of belief that the Cowboys appear to have in Shedeur Sanders. Of course, expectations will be sky high. Sanders isn't just walking into the league, he's walking into one of the most scrutinized, high-pressure franchises in all of sports. Every move he makes will be analyzed. Every throw will be dissected. Every game will be a referendum on whether this was the right call. But if there's one thing Shedeur has proven, it's that he doesn't shy away from the big moments. In fact, he invites them. In his own words, pressure is a privilege. That mindset, that attitude, is exactly what the Cowboys need right now. And let's not forget the symbolism here: Deion Sanders' son playing quarterback for the very team where his father once built his legend. That's not just poetic, it's destiny. From a football standpoint, this opens up a whole new world of possibilities for the Cowboys offense. With Sanders under center, you can start to imagine a system built around quick reads, fast tempo, and vertical shots down the field. His ability to stretch defenses with his arm, combined with his mobility, gives offensive coordinators a chance to reimagine the playbook. Pair Shedeur with a weapon like CeeDee Lamb, mix in some speed on the outside, and retool the offensive line to protect him, and suddenly you've got the makings of a modern NFL offense that can compete with anyone. But we can't ignore the loss of Micah Parsons. No matter how good the return is, replacing a player of his caliber won't be easy. Dan Quinn's defense has been built around Parsons' versatility, and his presence alone has made everyone around him better. Whoever the Cowboys bring in on defense will have massive shoes to fill. That said, if the reported trade includes a starting caliber defender and high draft capital, the Cowboys could use those assets to rebuild depth across the board. Maybe they target a young edge rusher in the draft. Maybe they sign a veteran linebacker to stabilize the front seven. The key here is flexibility. By moving off Parsons and avoiding the massive contract extension, Dallas gives itself room to maneuver. And while the defense might take a step back in the short term, the offense could take a giant leap forward. The NFL is a quarterback-driven league, and if Shedeur pans out, the Cowboys may have just hit the jackpot. His leadership, his pedigree, his arm, these are the ingredients of a franchise quarterback. And the Cowboys are giving him the keys. This is a team that has often been caught in the in-between, not quite rebuilding, not quite contending. Now, it's clear they've picked a lane. There's also the off-field component. Shedeur is a media magnet. His social media presence, his relationship with fans, and his ability to carry himself with charisma and humility make him a marketable star. Dallas, a franchise that lives in the limelight, is the perfect stage for someone like him. And don't underestimate the Deion Sanders factor. Coach Prime may not be officially affiliated with the Cowboys, but his influence, his wisdom, and his larger-than-life presence will no doubt be part of this journey. You can already picture the sideline cameos, the emotional father-son embraces, the prime-time pep talks. This isn't just a football story. This is a cultural moment. In the days and weeks to come, the full details of the Micah Parsons trade will come out. We'll know exactly what Dallas got in return. Analysts will debate the value. Fans will argue in barbershops and comment sections. But one thing is certain, the Cowboys are betting big on the future. They're choosing a new core, a new identity, and a new leader at the most important position in sports. Shedeur Sanders is now the face of the Dallas Cowboys. And ready or not, the NFL world will be watching. So buckle up, Cowboys Nation. We are witnessing the start of a brand new chapter, one that could define the next decade of Dallas football. Whether it ends in glory or heartbreak, only time will tell. But you can't say this team lacks vision. You can't say they aren't swinging for the fences. The Cowboys have turned the page. And it's a bold, thrilling, and unpredictable news story. If you're as shocked, excited, or anxious about these developments as we are, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you believe in Shedeur Sanders? Do you think trading Micah Parsons was the right call? And what do you think this means for Dak Prescott's future in Dallas? We'll be covering every twist, every rumor, and every update, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!